here we go. We're going to learn maybe 3 or 4 movements of yang 16. I will show you first, okay? I will show you first. I think the best way to show you is the regular sideways and then show you how we will learn coming forward, okay? And there's value in both in that you will see different things, okay? So, like always, all yang style will start with a commencing form with good Tai Chi posture, and we're thinking through that we're shifting our weight so that our substantial foot can allow our insubstantial to advance. We're drawing up water. Water is not easy to draw up with 2 hands, and we have to then push that water down. At no time does our shoulder rise up. You would be out of Tai Chi posture if you did. So this is my straightaway, and I parted the wild horse's mane. This is my transition to sit back and sit down. This is my zigzag. I need my ball for better balance. My heel is out on a straightaway to part the wild horse's mane 2 times. In yang 16, we take a half step forward. And because we're on a half step, we need our ball for better balance. We're going to spin our ball as we shift our weight to the back foot, and we're going to be a white crane who spreads his wings. Weight on the back, okay? Weight cannot never be on 2 feet. So that's our challenge. Here's the view from the front. So like I said, in order for us to follow me coming forward, we have to start facing the clock wall. I'm drawing up water. I'm using my core to push down that water, using my knees to flex. I'm centering with a ball because I need better balance. I come out on a straightaway, and I part the wild horse's mane 1. I sit back for transition. I come out on my insubstantial. I center with a ball. I need a straightaway, and this is 2. We need to get to a half step. Half step merely means on your toe of your back foot, holding your ball. Sit back on your back foot, spin the ball, rock to your toe of the front, lift it off the ground, point it out. White crane spreads its wings. Weight on the back. Okay? You think you can do that? Yeah. Let's do it. Okay? Let's come forward. So you take a little bit step. No, we're going to come forward, so take a step back. Okay? And turn towards the clock wall. Good Tai Chi posture, dropping the shoulders. Good thoughts. Tongue on your palate. Butt tucked under. Commencing form. Shift weight to the right. Heel up, off the ground, open, toe, arch, heel, hands rotate. Deep breath in, drop that water, use your core. At shoulder level, push down, flex your knees. That water's heavy. T stance without raising your shoulder. Hold your ball. This is a zigzag. Next is heel out. Turn the hips and waist, the commanders of your body. Bow stance, part the wild horse's mane. Sit back, sit down, pivot out to a 45, shift your weight. After a zigzag, we're going to go to a straightaway to part the wild horse's mane 2. Half step forward, hold your ball. Spin your ball. Weight on the back, lift up the left hand, set it down. White crane spreads its wings. Okay, one more time. We have enough room. Facing the clock, holding your ball. Let's start with holding your ball, okay? T stance, hold your ball. This is the zigzag. Out with your heel straight away. Part the wild horse's mane 1. Sit back, sit down, pivot out, hold your ball, heel on a straightaway. Bottom head advances, go up the horse's mane, bow stance. Sit back, sit down, pivot out. This is a drill. Zigzag, hold your ball, straight away, move the energy, flatten down, straight away. Sit back, sit down, zigzag, ball and tee, straight away, part the mane. Sit back, sit down, zigzag, ball for better balance, straight away, bow stance. Sit back, sit down, pivot out, zigzag, straight away, up the horse's mane. Sit back, twist step, L stance, bow stance. Sit back, zigzag, straight away, bow stance. Sit back, twist step, and stop. All right, I see it perfect. Everybody gravitated to a zigzag on the right towards the door, towards the fan. Hooray, something good is going on. Okay, move back. All right, how many thought it was fun? Yeah, we got out of our tin form. We're starting to move around and explore, right? We learned something more about our body. We also learned that, hey, the pounds that we have, we need to put it on one foot and be stronger so that we can be safer, so the weightless foot can now advance. And we need it to shift. We cannot always favor one side. We learned the principles of Tai Chi, which are strong in what we just did, that no 2 feet can have the same weight. You have to root down on one before the weightless foot can advance. In doing that, and I say turn the hips and waist, the second principle applies. The principle that the hips and waist are the commanders of your body. It's not your hands, it's not your head, it's not your feet, but it's how well you can move your hips and waist to direct your walking or your activities. We also learned that everything has to be thought through. We cannot rush just because the train is leaving or we need to catch up. You've got to take your time, otherwise you're going to cause an accident. So that focus, the mental challenge to keep focus and not listen to a distraction like the garbage truck or whatever. Okay, you got to stay focused. These are all principles. We also learned that our danten points, our head, our chest, 2 inches below our navel, is the center of gravity that keeps us erect. When we take a zigzag, the cable or your spine can turn. It can also turn again and advance. But all the time that we're moving, this spine has to be straight up. So if we did not know that, we would create a fall, create another fall, and create another fall, and so on and so forth, right? But as long as we know that the safety comes when our spine and danten points are lined up correctly. What about our mind? Were we thinking about what you're going to do afterwards? No, there's no room for that. You need to stay focused and prioritize our movements. Of course, now you can see that if we added our hand motions to it, we somehow lost track of what our feet are supposed to do. So that's why you take it apart, you understand clearly where the alignment is for your feet, then you apply your upper body. Okay? All right. Any questions so far? Like it? All right. Let's learn about white crane and how she can spread her wings correctly. All right? So when white crane spreads her wings, we have done 2 parting of the wild horse's mane. That's my 45. This is my stability. This is my straightaway. And I'm at my second parting of the wild horse's mane. I take a half step, and because a half step is kind of risky, I center with a ball. One of the principles says that you need to create a substantial as well as an insubstantial. So here I am creating my substantial in my back foot. My weightless foot is in my front, and I'm going to lift it off the ground and I'm going to set it up correctly. Setting it up correctly. So when white crane spreads her wings, we are weighted on the back foot. So you know it's weighted because I'm not straight up, because if I'm straight up, there's more than likely 30-50% of my weight on the insubstantial, which is completely wrong. So when my knee is flexed, my weight is most likely on my back foot. When you spread the wings of a crane, the advancing hand is the left hand, and the right hand stays to the side as if it were holding a ball from the top. So that curvature of the hand to the side of the hip. The weight on the back, the toe of the front of the left is the only placeholder, and you're like this. You're not like this, you're not like this, but you're like this, okay? So what is it that I'm asking? The left hand is higher than your eye level. The baby finger can slice through an imaginary line in the area of your edge of your right shoulder. So can you position your hand of the left to make sure that the baby finger can slice an imaginary line through the edge of your shoulder blade, okay? And you can take note of my elbow. Is the elbow this way? No, it's dropped down. Because at no time should your shoulder raise up. You'll be out of Tai Chi posture and you will not have relaxation. And that's not Tai Chi. The weight has to be on the back. And the left toe is just holding there. But if I kept you here for a long time, you would ache in your back or right foot. Do you think you look like me? Can I check? Okay, and ask yourself, is that baby finger slicing through your right edge shoulder blade? Is your weight on the back foot? And only the front left is on its toe, and are you flexed on the back knee? It takes balance, it takes strength. Okay, so that's something you're going to take that piece home and practice. Okay, so this is what we learned so far, and after you watch, we're going to put it all together, okay? So we said we'd start with here. This is our twist step, or our T-stance, or our zigzag. We said that in Tai Chi there are patterns. After a zigzag or a T-step, we go to a straightaway, as if to part the wild horse's mane or do a Tai Chi walk. Once on a straightaway, to get into a zigzag, we have to sit down and we have to sit back. To allow the insubstantial foot to take a zigzag, we need better balance because we are going to be on one foot. And we need to step down on our heel on a line or parallel to the line to do the patterning of a straightaway. After two parting of the wild horse's mane, we take a half step. We help ourselves to center with a ball. Weight is still on the forward foot. However, we need to do several things to create the next movement, which is white crane. We need to shift our weight as we spin our ball, and we need to rock the front foot, and we need to set it up correctly. Wow. Right? I don't know where you mean. Yeah, because we're doing 16. In the 24, it's this way. You're in the 16 class, okay? So So that's why people who have been practicing tell me, wow, I didn't realize that the 16 requires us to do stuff from the opposite side, meaning that that person probably was familiarized with the 24. So yes, because why did it end up that way? Normally in the 24, you do 3 parting of the wild horse's mane. In the 16, you do only 2 to end up on the wrong way, which is the right way, right? Okay, so we said that we would do it because you're all kind of, your mind is really ballooning and getting hyper because there's so much information and it's taxing us because we have to get that information, process it, and perform. Practice, not perform, but do it. Okay, so let's do it before we forget. Huh?
Today, as well as most of all the lessons we're going to be talking about, she's going to be teaching you incrementally one form after the other, okay? One of the secrets behind Tai Chi in general is that each form, once you get into your substantial or stable position, is a stable position. It is, in Occidental terms, optimum postural efficiency. That is, you stand there, you spend the least amount of energy, but you are very stable. And as you go through the movements, you will learn each is relatively stable compared to what happens in between them. Okay? In between them, your hands and hips and your feet and whatever are moving. But even that has something to do with moving with a sort of balance. There is strategy. But just remember, from movement to movement, you are trying to move from one stable island to another stable island to another stable island. And once you get that concept, then you may understand what they term substantial. Substantial just happens to say you're defining one foot. But really, if you think of substantial as a whole, it almost says, hey, I'm rock solid almost, okay? That's one way of looking at it. Versus you can say, well, because there's substantial, there's insubstantial. In some ways, we're teaching it when you have substantial, you should have an insubstantial, but we're teaching it in the concept that once you stabilize, the insubstantial, if you use that, allows movement, okay? Because you're rock solid on the substantial.
Okay, good. All right. We are doing Yang 16, facing the clock wall, trying to implement Tai Chi walk, and at the same time, do commencing form as well as parting of the wild horse's mane as well as white crane. Good Tai Chi posture, dropping those shoulders, tongue on your palate, tucking your butt, hollowing out your chest. Good thoughts, lining up our danten points, 50-50. Shift weight to the right, 60, 70, 80, 90. Off the ground, toe arch heel, hands rotate, drop that water, using your core, using your mind at shoulder level, tuck the elbows, flex the knees, push down that water. Round out with a T on a, holding your ball, bring the shoulders in, elbows in, T stance or zigzag. You want to create a L or a straightaway to part the wild horse's mane. Here it is, bow stance. We created a straightaway. We need to sit back and sit down to create an insubstantial to pivot at a 45-degree zigzag, holding your ball, out on a straightaway on the line or parallel to the line to part the wild horse's mane. 2. This is a drill. Sit back, sit down, pivot out, hold your ball, zigzag, straightaway, bow stance. Sit back, sit down, zigzag, ball, T, L, Straight away, bow stance. Half step forward, hold your ball. Spin the ball as you sit back on your left foot. Watch the advancing hand go up onto the toe of the front. Lift it off. White crane spreads its wings. Then you ask yourself, is your weight on the back? Is your left hand or advancing hand above your head? Is the baby finger slicing through the shoulder of your right? If it is,